It's really important to have, the confidence of the guys in me, because if they jump in for a rescue and they need to be backed up, they need to know that I have the ability to do that.
Backpackers at the back. Now it's his mate on the blue board in the board shorts. He's just put his hand up. He's going to need a hand in.
There's a lot of days where I feel the pressure and I go, you do get anxious. Like I get that sick nervous feeling just because of the sheer numbers, and it does feel like you're losing control.
Keeps picking up. The periods increase as well.
So with the swell period, it was a bit smaller in the day, and what that means is that's basically just the distance between the troughs of the waves as they're coming in. So the theory behind it is the longer the period, the stronger the energy in that swell that's coming in. So throughout that day, the waves are just getting stronger and stronger. And all of a sudden, these few huge waves came from around the corner at Ben Buckler's.
Central to north corner, how about that bit of swell?
This is huge. I can't believe, it was fully feathering out the back of the point.
It cleared the flags out before we knew it. Everything was running out to sea, and about 40, 50 swimmers all went at the same time.
And it's Central. Boggie's just running out.
The clubbies are waving off the back of the flags again. Nicola straight in front of you.
They've got it parked forward. There's about 4 swimmers hanging on.
It's come over, Nick. It's turning into a mass rescue.
As I got out there, just more and more heads kept popping up, screaming for help.
Hold on.
It's going on.
Mate, it's hectic here.
Hold on.
People that had a bit of fight in them and were able to scream and wave their arms, I wasn't really that worried about them, because obviously, they had the strength to keep themselves above water. I was sort of looking for, hands, hair, anything, someone who might be submerged. I was just worried that in that panic and in that number of people that were drowning, that someone, they could have been knocked out, anything. I was just trying to get as elevated as possible to look around and just see if I could see anyone that may have been underwater or floating face down. You don't want to, it was just, you just don't know who you've missed.
Oh, it's the biggest rescue I've ever seen.
Well done, guys. Good work, boys. Everyone did well. Nick, about as chaotic as it gets, I reckon.
That was hectic.
4 flags was absolutely horrific. It was a mass rescue.
Then we had everyone. We had about 8 boards in the water and people swimming and all sorts. So, I think I brought in 4 people. Must have been close to 40 people then.
We got a call from the police and saying there was a boat in distress about 2 k's off the middle of Bondi.
We'll launch our jet. We'll get our jet ski out there.
We didn't know if it was taking on water rapidly, if there were people who were, overboard.
Your first thoughts are the worst. I was thinking, can the passengers on the boat swim?
Bondi Central to Harry's and Max. Can you guys get back to the tower? We just got a call from the police. We got a boat sinking.
You're just going out there blind and hoping, you'll be able to be of some sort of assistance.
Been out there on the ocean by himself. It's a storm coming in.
Yeah, you can tell he was panicking on the radio.
I said to Nick, I was like, we're a long way out. We're not even halfway there yet.
The further away I get from shore, the deeper the water gets, I definitely start to feel a little more intimidated by what's going on underneath.
We've got the clubbies turning up now, so they'll have attachment ropes.
Yeah.
Bondi Lifeguard Central to jet ski.
Just give us a rundown. How bad's the hole?
The anchor might have gone through the underside of the front of the boat, but I'm going to jump off and see if I can have a look.
Yeah, copy. Sweet.
Are you happy to have a look, or?
I don't want to jump in that water. Like, I'm terrified. The moment I jump in there, there's Jaws sitting underneath me and he's just going to take me from the waist down. Well, I don't really know what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's a stupid, irrational fear, but it's not completely out of the realms of possibilities.
So you reckon it's at the front? I was acting all tough in front of Nicola, you know. I didn't want to say it, but I was a little bit scared myself. The bottom of the boat was really eerie. It's got all like barnacles and weed, and had a pretty good look, you know. I didn't want to sort of say, nah, there's no hole in the boat, and then he drives off and sinks.
Jet ski to lifeguards, giving you a bit of an update. As he's jumped in, he's checked out the hull of the boat. Doesn't seem to be any damage that we can see.
Copy. The police boat should be around there probably in 15-20 minutes.
I was a bit afraid to jump in, so as he volunteered.
That was the first time that she said no or balked at anything, you know. She's been a soldier this summer, and I wouldn't hesitate for her to back me up in any situation.
I definitely think that when tourists come down, they can look at the conditions and they can look deceivingly safe. Unfortunately, with the tide, all our rips start to flare up.
There's people like 5 feet from the shore and they're nearly drowning. They're not far out, but they're in a bit of strife.
Dunstan and I get the call to investigate 2 swimmers down the south end. You could see these 2 swimmers were in a lot of distress. That rip just had complete control of them and they were just getting taken out to sea.
Guys, sit to the side. Nicola attempted to give them direction and quickly surmised that it was pointless. Go, Dunny, go. They're both in.
I wouldn't say they were completely hysterical yet, but they were definitely in the realms of quite a bad panic.
They're trying to swim against it and they're going backwards. They were doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk in the ocean, going backwards like this.
When we got them onto the board and they kind of caught their breath, they almost erupted into laughter. And I think for a lot of people, it's that embarrassment. Also, I think she was somewhat losing her swimmer tops. I think she was having a little giggle to herself as she was trying to keep her modesty. As soon as we got them into the beach, like, oh, thanks a million, thanks a million. It did not take long to realise that Declan and Kelly were Irish.
They just dragged us out too far and I couldn't swim anymore and I couldn't breathe. Just kept going under. I thought I was going to die.
The Irish definitely have an uncanny ability to find any rip on the beach.
I thought it would have been like Coogee and it would have been all right, but it's not.
I've got to love the Irish. My dad's Irish. My whole family's Irish, so...
Nicola is the sole female lifeguard on the service. With a shifting tide and dangerous currents, Julie is given the opportunity to learn from a true pro.
So experienced, so just to see the way that she manoeuvres the ski, she's so good on it, like she's so experienced, so it was crazy.
However, Nicola's lesson quickly turns into the real thing.
Literally just turned on a dime there and went sort of nasty all of a sudden.
Within minutes, Julie gets hands-on experience pulling swimmers out of the rip.
Nicola is so good with her directions and she's like firm, but she's in control.
Yeah, I do tend to yell. I'm just like, get on the mat!
Get on the mat! Get on it!
Look, 1, 2.
There's 3 of them on there now.
I'm really glad she was on the back because we had that flash rip, all that stuff, so it's nice to have someone on there yelling with you.
It was good, it was good.
Working as a team, Julie and Nicola defuse a potentially fatal situation.
It feels really amazing to be working with such experienced lifeguards. Yeah, I feel really lucky.
It's really nice to have an enthusiastic girl down here who's just sort of keen to learn and get amongst it, get involved. And you need to have a passion to do it, to be able to get out there and sort of stretch yourself and want to learn and want to improve. And I'm like, you sure you don't want to move to Bondi? Come on, help me out.
Oh, thanks, Nicola.
Nicola is called to back up.
Should we go quicker?
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that. The clubbies are all freaking out. They're screaming for more help. You're going to have to go straight out. So I could see one clubbie's gone up the rocks, lost his board. He's probably going to get in trouble. I think there's one boogie boarder. I've lost sight of him.
Nicola offers assistance.
Yeah, Nick's going way out, boat ramp style. We've got a mass rescue in 10-foot surf.
Uwe Crab is on holidays from Germany.
Nicola seems to be coming in. She's doing a rescue. She's got one on her board.
We actually got in once, and then he jumped off. He jumped off in the rip and went straight back out.
The exhausted German tourist has been battling for over half an hour. Nicola makes a second attempt to save him.
Hold on! She's going out. She's absolutely battling.
The powerful rip pulls them out to sea.
The waves were so big, there was so much happening. The rocks right there, and he just can't understand what I'm saying. And I just couldn't communicate with him. And we're sitting in the rip, just going out to sea. And then finally, like, I got him on the board and I had to roll a wave with him.
The man struggles to understand Nicola's instructions.
Hold on to my board! My board! Hold on! I'm trying to help you. You need to listen.
Next thing was, how do I get him in? The waves are massive.
Get off!
At that point, I knew I couldn't get him back in to the beach.
The narrow boat ramp is sandwiched between rocks.
Alright, we're gonna go up there, okay? I tell you to swim. Yeah, okay.
Off-duty lifesavers back up.
Nicola has sent him up the rocks, which is one of the heaviest things to do, and two bystanders dragged the guy across the rocks and up to the boat ramp.
I think he got a few scrapes, but yeah, I think he's more than happy to be on dry land.